my fellow Extraordinary Americans. My name is Cosmos, and this is Extraordinary America. What is Extraordinary America about? Extraordinary America is about the abolition of financial slavery. It is about the financial freedom of the 99%. Why? Well, you see, the essence of what it is to be an American and about America has always been freedom, opportunity for a better life, and the pursuit of happiness. But unfortunately, most Americans at this current time are not having that. Most Americans are, on the other hand, going through financial slavery in one form or the other. Right? Over a long period of time, there's been massive levels of wealth and income inequality. Right? People are just living one paycheck to another, barely able to pay off their bills. And now, due to the coronavirus pandemic, millions of people have actually lost their jobs and they're going through dire financial straits and a lot of financial stress, right? A lot of Americans have been going through what you can call a reduction in purchasing power over the last 50 to 100 years, right? What the amount of stuff you could buy with a dollar 50 years ago is not the same as how much you can buy right now, and this is due to inflation that happens due to printing of fiat money in massive amounts, which is backed by nothing tangible. Now, when you combine this with stagnant wages, where your income is not growing in proportion to the inflation of prices and the rise in basic goods and rise of prices for the basic goods and services, this leads to like the reduction of your overall wealth. And now when you combine this with the fact that many people, in order to keep their lifestyle, have to basically go into debt in order to like maintain their lifestyle, like paying a mortgage or car debt or basically student loans and a bunch of this stuff, you basically see that this is actually a form of financial slavery or indentured servitude, essentially, right? And so the last thing is that in the near future, there's going to be a massive loss of purchasing power due to hyperinflation, which will follow the current economic depression, right? And this is because the banks and the government are going to print massive amounts of money, and they already have, right, of fiat money, right? And when that happens, it devalues every single individual dollar, which means that your money that you have will essentially become worthless. And so that will lead to complete, utter financial poverty. And in a way, it's called financial slavery. So therefore, Extraordinary America is about the abolition of financial slavery. It is about the financial freedom of the 99%. You should not work for money. It is money that should work for you. How is this to be done? In the short term, this is to be done by investing your money into assets such as gold, silver, or cryptocurrencies, which have a specified rare amount, which is specifically rare in amount, right? And it's tangible. Right? And this will protect your money from getting devalued and getting hyperinflated away. And in the long term, this is to be done by number one, the transformation of the 99% into entrepreneurs and investors on the light side. Number two, the creation of spiritual economic institutions led by Jedipreneurs that basically create wealth and financially educate the 99% with the goal of financially freeing them all. They will treat all of the people in America, and for the most part in the entire world, as members of one family of the Father of the universe, right? And this is why they're going to act as instruments in the name of the Father and basically provide like healthcare, education, housing, food, and shelter, in addition to basically trying to get them financially free. They'll treat them as a 1%er family. And last but not the least, the replacement of the debt-based fiat monetary system with the American Dream Standard or the Humanity Upliftment Standard, because what the Father of the universe values the most is an uplifted humanity and not gold, silver, or cryptos, ultimately. And that is just the truth, right? And so now in today's video, I want to recap the previous three videos and come and just give a basic solution of what needs to be done. In the previous videos, right, the last three videos, we talked about how you have the right and the left, the Republicans and the Democrats, conservatives and the liberals, right? The masculine, which is basically another reference to masculine and the feminine, the father and the mother, right? Basically, the right and the left indicate the father and mother, and basically America is the family, right? And we are all the children of this family. But unfortunately, over the last 50 to 100 years, both of these people, both the father, the national father, and the national mother have become narcissistic, and they have been continuously fighting each other. because in the political game, everything is narcissistic, right? It's all about gaining power over the other and all of that stuff. But as a result, the children, many of the children in the family, right, in the American family, has become narcissistic as well. Many people on the right now hate the left, and many people on the left hate the right, right? And as a result, they have become narcissistic, and it is now resembling a narcissistic family dynamic, right? And there are many who are caught in the middle, who are like, who do not believe in narcissism, or neither like of ultra right or ultra left. They're more of like the sensible moderating influence, right? They're more empathetic in a lot of matters, right? And so what is the solution to this, along with everything else, right? Because that is obviously an issue. And the answer is, you have to first realize what is empathy and what is narcissism, right? Empathy is coming from a place of the law of one, where you understand that everybody is one consciousness, like we are all part of each other and we are all interconnected. If somebody gets hurt, in the long run, you're going to get hurt as well, right? And then there's the philosophy of the law of ego, which is what the narcissists go by, which is a zero-sum game, where if I win, I can only win if the other person loses, right? It's basically domination. It's all about power and control. And the truth of the matter is, the only way you can ever solve a national problem is through a place of empathy, right? But now you are in a situation where you have a toxic narcissist family dynamic, right? And there's also another fact, right? There's a story of like, there's a thing of like, there's empathy and narcissism in all of us, right? It goes and it differs from each individual, but some people have more empathy, some people have more narcissism, but everybody has a different level of empathy and narcissism. And it's always a struggle in our daily life to choose between doing the right thing and doing good, and doing what is selfish and self-centered, right? And things that totally is about lacking empathy altogether. And it's always a battle between both of us. So the first step to solving a national problem is to basically let the empath within you win, right? The wolf that basically is about empathy, right? You have to let that win within you first. And it's a struggle. And all of us have to face that struggle every single day. But I believe with the right motivation, that can be done. You have to let the empath defeat the narcissist within you first on an individual level, and then it will spread outwards, and then it can go on a national level, right? And so the first step you have to do is realize that you're a normal person and you have both empathy and narcissism within you, and the same is true about different people and other people, and they have it in different amounts. The thing is to first attain empathy within ourselves and inspire others to attain empathy within themselves, and then from there gather all the people who are into empathy, right, and compassion, and from there you can start to make a difference, right? Because if you're in a narcissistic family dynamic and your father is a narcissist and your mother is a narcissist, and then you have your fellow brothers and sisters that are becoming narcissistic, the only thing you can do is to walk away from that, right, and protect the empathy within you. Fight the battle of empathy and narcissism, the light side and the dark side within you, and basically emerge victorious with the light side within you winning, and then inspire others to do the same, right? And the truth of the matter is, the only way to solve the national problem is by looking at it from the perspective of an empath family, right? What you want is an empath family with an empathetic father, an empathetic mother, and empathetic children who are following the law of one and not the law of ego, right? The problem with the state of affairs in today's world is that most people have chosen the law of ego, the law of selfishness, and the law of the dark side, rather than following the law of one. And when enough people do that, the world becomes a dark and selfish place. And we must not become one of that. We must fight. We must keep the light within us. And that is the way, right? As one of the children, we have to fight, and we have to basically be the inspirers and motivators to basically make the difference. But we got to have the empathy within us, and we got to turn the family into an empath family. And that happens over a period of time, right? But in order to do that, you have to become financially free first, right? Because there's a lot of negativity and toxicness that's happening all around the world today, right? There's so much negativity out there, right? People are just hating for the sake of hating, right? And it's coming from the law of ego. And what we got to do is basically you got to protect yourself from all that hate and that negativity and develop the empath within you, the love and compassion within you, right? And from there, inspire others to do the same. You got to invest in yourself first, right? And build yourself first. And one of the things that helps you do that is to become financially free. Let's say you're not financially free. You're working for a job which gives you a minimum wage or something, and it's paycheck to paycheck. You go to work, and then you have a narcissistic boss that basically degrades you and humiliates you. Or you have coworkers that are into office politics that are degrading you and humiliating you, and like basically being passive aggressive in a very subtle way, right? What is the solution to that? The solution to that is to walk away, right? Because that's the only thing a good person can ever do. Like most of the times we cannot change people. People have to be willing to change themselves first. But the only thing you can do is not accept that and walk away. And what is the best way of walking away? And that is through becoming financially free and educating yourself in finances. You see, normally a lot of people associate poverty with something moral, but I disagree, right? You have to be financially free. You should not have it might be bad to have exceeding amount of wealth, right? There's no need for that. But what is important is to be financially free first. Invest in yourself first and help your fellow people who are on the empathetic, on the light side, or who want to be empaths to become financially free as well, right? And when that happens, a large amount of people will actually walk away from this toxic negativity, and then from a place of positiveness, they can start making a difference. And I would ask you to do the same, right? Because that's the only way true change can actually occur, right? You have to understand what it is, right? There is a narcissistic masculine and a narcissistic feminine, right? And a lot of the children have become narcissistic because they need the love of the father or the love of the mother, right? And they want to do whatever it takes to do that. And this is playing out on a national level. And the answer to that is to be empathetic and also to be financially free, right? So that's the solution ultimately to the problem of empathy versus narcissism. But how do you do that? It starts with you, right? And it starts with a determination or commitment to be an empath, right? No matter how hard it is, right? Remember, there's an empath within us and there's a narcissist within us. And we have to choose the light side if we want to be happier in our lives. Anyways, I want to conclude by saying that from now onwards, Exploring America is not just about the abolition of financial slavery and the financial freedom of the 99%. It is also about bringing balance to the empath versus narcissist dynamic in America. It is about creating an empath America, and that is what myself and others believe in, right? If you like what I'm talking about, please subscribe to this channel, and I will share more videos in the near future. Anyways, bye for now. Thank you.